Good morning. Good morning. Morning, everybody. How's everybody doing this morning? This fine Tuesday morning. Everybody good? Everybody good? Yeah, got your coffee, Claudia. Got a thumbs up from Christian. Michelle, good to see everybody. Cullen, good morning, Becca. Hope everybody's doing good this morning. I'm not doing so well, but I'm pushing through. I'm going to be all right. Sometimes my optimistic outlook on things, try to push me through. But man, I woke up this morning and I had blue eyes. One blew one way, one blew the other way. I didn't know where I was coming or going. Still under the weather. So, but I asked Brock if he would tag team with me this morning. I hadn't really been this sick in a minute, but anyway, we'll push through. We'll push through.
I put
So
you on
good
the
morning,
prayer call this
everybody.
morning. I put you on the prayer call this morning because I got your text message. And yes, sir. I know, brother. The sickness is going around. It is going around.
And the bad thing is I peaked out my worst on Sunday. Now, what's Sunday? Sunday's Mother's Day. And of course, Dana's like, I can't have all the attention today. No, Chad's got to come in, and you know what I mean? So I tried to keep my mouth shut. I tried to be quiet. What's wrong? What's wrong? I didn't want to say anything. It's always a battle, always a battle. But anyway. Well, let's get started with our affirmations, if we could, please. Maybe. Here we go. All right. All together. I am created on purpose for a purpose, and you are created on purpose for a purpose. And for some reason, I got a purpose being on here this morning. And I think it came from the purpose of seeing Brock's, I don't even know, let me clean out the file cabinet, and it had an excuse folder. And I'm like, no way can I back out or, ask for help or a rain check or whatever. So anyway, I did ask Brock to jump on with me. Michelle, I might tag team you a bit too, because I really kind of felt led to start amplifying or promoting who we have coming on Friday. That's this Friday, correct? Yep. Cool. So I want to go ahead and plant the seed. We won't talk about this the whole time, but got a gentleman coming on Figure It Out Friday, the author's edition. His name is Harlan Acola. He is a super fine young man. And he wrote a book. I actually have it right here. It's called Home Equity and Reverse Mortgages, the Cinderella of the Baby Boomer Retirement. And I have to jump in right there and say, what if everything you ever thought about reverse mortgages was wrong? When would you want to know about it? I always say that everybody's got a next step to become better. Even the best can become better. And there might be something in here because I'm in the financial business, and I'm like, man, I don't want to get into his spiel, but that's pretty much taking advantage of older people and ripping off kids, right? And honestly, I think in the right setting, in the right situation, this right here could be freedom for a lot of people. It could be margin in their life. It could be a sense of relief of folks not having to go back to work. He is a phenomenal dude. And here's the deal. I can promise you this. Everything I do, it's not magic, it's math. And if you can see the math, I don't know what the argument would be about. So that's my plug for Friday. I'm looking forward to that. Again, it's not across the board that this is a fit, but there's more people that could use this and know about this. And especially us having mostly realtors on here, I think that it would be very advantageous and in your best interest to be here on Friday.
Hey,
So
Chad, can I say something?
please.
One of the things that you give this program and everybody here are options for things that people can consider. And that's the one thing that is so admirable about what you do. You just, put it down, you draw the line and say, this might be a good fit for you. Ultimately, it's our own decision on what we do with our finances and that type of thing. But if you don't know what the people who are out there making millions of dollars know, then how can you make a good decision? So I'm excited about this. Is going to be a little bit different, Figure It Out Friday Authors Edition, but I'm excited about it too.
Excellent. Excellent. All right, Brock, come on, man. Let's tag team. Let's talk about purpose today. Let's talk about 26 laws of leadership. Let's talk about whatever you want to talk about. Let's just roll with it.
Let us roll into it. It's funny is, so I had something in my head that I was going to share, and then I was just like, oh, Chad speaks today, so I'll have to do it on Friday. And then I was like, oh, I can't do it on Friday because it's Figured Out Friday Authors Edition. So when I got your text message, I was like, all right, God, I guess these are the things I'm supposed to talk about today that somebody's supposed to hear. And so I'm going to share two things, and then we'll go from there. The first thing that I wanted to share, what I was going to do today, is I was going to dress up in a suit and tie. And I was just going to sit here, and I was going to see, like, waiting for somebody to say something or be like, because I figured, Chad, in my head, I'm like, if I came in with a shirt and tie, Chad's probably going to say something to me, be like, why are you all dressed up? What do you got going on? Which then led me to this. We recognize people exterior when we really don't understand their interior. See, I could stay right here and wear these clothes, and you wouldn't think that I'm changing because you can't see it. So I'm going to ask you all, how many of you, put a 6 in the chat, how many of you are changing on the inside, but we can't see it on the outside? How many of you are wanting to change on your inside, but the outside seems easier because we can get attention? And so I started to lead with this, and where I was going, I was on the elliptical this morning. And then I wanted to share this because it's important that you all understand that when I share something and these leaders share something, when we say, like, we are going to do a success summit, we're not BSing you. We're not throwing an idea out there. We're really coming through. So yesterday, I can't even make this stuff up, Chad. 2 things happened to me. Okay. And for those, where's Rosario? Because I was talking to Rosario yesterday about it. I was like, Rosario, when did I make this conversation? When did I make this commitment? And of course, Rosario, she's so good at this stuff, Chad. She's like, I got it right here, Brock, April 27th, 2023. So on April 27th, 2024, I'm sorry, 2024, she's making comments in the chat. And then on Monday of last week, I made a comment to you all saying that I needed to find $200,000 this week. Well, all, yesterday I received my approval for $200,000 to do what I need to do for the beach house. And I share this with you because this is not to impress you by any means. It is just to tell you. When I said I needed $200,000 this week to see people's eyeballs go up and to be like, man, that's crazy. How do you 200? What are you going to do? When I was $550,000 in debt, 7 years ago because of IRS and house and cars foreclosed on and house repossessed or cars repossessed, house foreclosed on. People thought I was an idiot. And still to this day, people might be like, man, I don't know about this guy. I'm not too sure about him. But I will lean in and tell you this. If you are willing to make a commitment in any freaking thing you want to do, there's nothing. I learned so much in the past week about hard money and gap funding and bridge loans and what takes place for DSCR loans and everything else. That guess what? I met a guy in Washington, right by in Spokane, Colin. I was telling him about you. He's like, man, we could do some more business together because I got some other people that could do this and we could do this. And I said, well, I do a lot of wholesaling. Maybe we could do this. And what did I tell you? One of the things yesterday, all was your environment and was getting in those rooms and having conversations. But I don't get into those rooms until I had a problem. My problem was $200,000. So yesterday I get this pre-approval. Then I had this meeting at 3:30, Chad. And the meeting was with the head coach, the head leader in the corporate at Rio, my firm. And he wanted to meet up with me because we're working on a mastermind that he wants to use my Rebecca Black Belt of Personalities with my book, Turning Scripts into Conversations. And so we were having this conversation. And I was just like, yeah, this is what I got. This is what I'm doing, da, da, da. And I was like, yeah, we're getting ready. I got these speakers. We got keynote speakers. We're doing this event in Key West, Florida at the Success Summit. And Chad, he goes to me, what are you doing? I said, the Success Summit. He's like, what? Tell me a little bit more about it. So I pull up the website. I start showing him the website. He says this to me. He goes, you know what, man? I'm gonna go talk to Tamir, who's the CEO, and we as a company want to sponsor this, and we want to support this, and we're gonna make this. We're gonna build this into. We're gonna put it on our Facebook. We're gonna put it on our calendar, and guess what? I'm also gonna come down there and speak at it too. If you got room for me, I'll come down there and speak for you, and we'll take care of everything. And I was just like, are you serious? Are you serious with me right now? He's like, yeah, man. And what are you doing in June? What are you doing June 10th? I'm going to be in Raleigh. Would you like to speak with me up in Raleigh? See, you have to put it out in the universe all. When I shared yesterday, and when we speak as leaders, we are real human beings with real problems, and we put it out in the universe. We have faith in God, and then we just show up every single day. That's what we do. We're not any different than any person that's on here. And why I put that excuses on there today is because I'm tired of hearing people give me excuses. Christian and I have a little challenge, and I call him out, and I can say curse words to Christian because sometimes that's how we are. But I got tired of him telling me he's not working out. He talks big game, and guess what? He sent me a picture today of him working out today. I had another guy tell me that he's got a job and he's got kids and everything else, and I sent him a picture of a violin with some a box of tissues. I said, you better talk you're talking to the wrong person. And when Chad came to me today and he said that to me, I was so impressed with you, Chad, because that's what leadership is you show up when you're sick. You show up, even if he asks me to tag team, who cares? He still showed up. Because you know what you could have said to me, Chad? I'm really sick, Brock. I can't do it. I'm in bed. I'm underneath the covers. You don't understand how sick I am, blah, blah, blah. He didn't say it. He says, can you help me tag team? See, it's okay to ask for help. I was more impressed with that than anything else. So Chad, whatever the message was supposed to be today is for somebody, because God wanted you to tag team with me, and he wanted somebody to hear these success stories, these pains that I where I've come from. Guys, my credit was below 500, and Rosario helped me. Then I'm close to 700, and it was hell to work on all. It is hard to build your credit up, because every time you pay something, you're thinking that it magically is going to go up 50 points, and it's like +5. I'm like, you son of a. And Rosario, like, there was times I was like, Rosario, I'm not too sure about this anymore. Like, my credit has only gone up like 20 points, and I freaking feel like I'm paying off everything I possibly can. And she keeps saying to me, it takes time. And we don't want to give it time, because we want immediate results. We want immediate answers. If our internet went out, we get all bent out of shape, we get pissed off. We're like, where's my internet? Does anybody, we start running, if we're in off, remember back in the day where, like, when you actually went to an office, be like, hey, did your internet run out? What's going on? What do you happen? What's happening over here? Like, when we have power outages in my neighborhood, it's like my neighbors come, is your power out too? Is your power out? Oh, no. I'm like, no, I got power. They're like, you do? I'm like, no, I don't. I don't have power either. I just like to mess around with them. But Chad, that was kind of where I was going, was it's just really, it started off with the tie, because I knew people would recognize my exterior. And then it led to me with my pre-approval, because nobody knew what I was doing this week, and all the different conversations and the interviews. And I mean, you start putting stuff on Facebook all to try to talk to these people. I must have had 30 people. And how many of them, Chad, do you think are spam, not credible, not too sure? And I'm just like, this is hard. I thought this should be a little bit easier, just to be able to try to find some money out here, but I didn't have to, I had to go look up their Google accounts. I had to look up the Better Business Bureau. I had to then ask them questions. I had to look up their back end to their website. Then I had to have phone call. It was like, I'm like, damn, this was a lot harder. But here's the thing. If it was easy, everybody would do it. It was easy to get muscles like Amy Kane over there. Everybody would do it. It's not fun eating your diet. It's not fun getting up early. It's not fun being sick and still showing up. It's not fun doing the things that we don't want to do, because it's easy to go to the filing cabinet to pull up the excuses. So easy to do that. Best line I heard from somebody, I can't remember who: excuses sound best to the person who created them. So Chad, that's what I got. We can talk from that, or whatever.
Yeah, well, I've got a few things that I'd like to comment on that. You know, a lot of times that's what we focus on, is the exterior. And if we try hard enough and we feel like we put on our best and our best foot forward, that's enough to get us to the next level. And so I'm going to tell you that when your heart is pure and you come with a pure posture, that interior, that's when real change happens. Because you can, like my dad, I would see a car, he was in the car business, a wholesaler. And I mean, he turned a lot of cars, and I'd see a car, man, that looks so good. Look at that. He said, oh, that car ain't no good. That's a block away car. I said, what's a block away car? It looks good a block away, but I want you to look at all this, this, and this. And he knew, you know what I mean? He knew that thing had history, and it was this, this, and this. But on the same token, I would look at something that he's looking at, and I'm like, ooh, this is when I was a kid. He would take me with him. I'm like, Dad, that car's dirty. He said, you got to look through that. You got to see through the dirt. You got to know how to see what the potential is, right? And so what you said, Brock, is so good, but I think I need to emphasize that we don't do this selfishly or in vain. Like, okay, well, I'm going to do this, this, and this so I can achieve this. Because God knows your heart. He really does. And He wants to place you in places and spaces to where you can truly move the needle in other people's lives and impact people. But you have to come with a pure heart. And sometimes it takes brokenness to get that pure heart and to realize, man, I've done this wrong my entire life. I don't want to do this anymore. God, I want to do it the way you want me to do it. And so I wrote down pure posture. And when you truly, truly, truly want to be used, He will align the right partners. He will start showing you the plan. When the alignment's right, the assignment becomes more clear. And maybe, maybe not. You guys, I'm not a Bible scholar at all, but I do have verses that I'll plant my flag in. And why argue with them? One of them is the one with, hey, man has many plans, but God's purpose will prevail. Like, I could drop the mic right now, tell y'all to have a good day. I'm not going against that. I'm automatically going to yield to, hey, God, I want to be who you want me to be. And when I did that, guys, I'm telling you, everything changed in my life. And I don't tell you that again. You got to have your own experience. It's not a checklist. Oh, I'm going to do what Chad did. What did he say he did? He went to the closet, he curled up, he cried, and he said, God, help me. And you walk out of the closet and expect something to hit you. It ain't like that. You got to truly want it. And then also Matthew 6:33, seek Him first, and all these things will be added. Don't hope for everything to be added. And oh, by the way, if you do this, then I'll seek you. It ain't like that. And unfortunately, sometimes people do that. But when you come with a pure posture and you want to be used, and you realize that you're created on purpose for purpose, and you're not meant to live by default, but by design, and you get your, rear end in the game, because when you don't get in the game, you're robbing the world of who you were created to be. When you are on the sideline hoping some kind of leftovers shake out, and you're just, barely getting by and surviving, you know what I mean? You're going to end up in the graveyard with everybody else with all those talents and all that purpose and all those gifts. You got to focus, fight, finish, Jada, right? And you got to truly, truly, truly understand that you matter. And you're making a choice whether you want to step into that or not. But when you do, it's game over. You are psychologically unstoppable because you know who you belong to. That's all I got, man. That's all I got, bro. I think this worked out absolutely perfect. Like, I could talk now. I can. We got anybody want to stay in phase 2? See, you done got me yayed up. It's 4 minutes before the call's over with, but I'm ready to talk 35 more minutes. Anybody want to come on to another Zoom call and let's just keep on going? See, purpose, baby, purpose, alignment, assignment, clear, default, not designed. You can't see your picture when you're stuck inside the frame, but here's the deal. You scared me when you started talking about I could have called because I was under the covers and I thought you'd be reading my mind and all that stuff. So you was reading my mind, but then I saw the dadgum post you put with the excuses, and I said, "See, he ain't gonna let me to do this. So I'm just gonna see if he'll help a brother out. HBO, help a brother out." Mm.
It's funny. I even did it at the gas station because somebody was texting me those excuses, and I was looking for the GIF of the excuses, and then I was like, well, I'll also put it on Facebook. Just maybe there's somebody else who's got some excuses, and you never know. It's just funny how it you saw that, and it transformed the way you go into it. And yesterday was my moment where I didn't want to run. I had that soccer game with my kid, with Brielle. I was sore as could be, and it was raining out, and I was like, oh, I just do not want to run today. And it's people like you all that motivate and inspire me, because I was like, I cannot show up to the show and tell somebody to like do something if I didn't do it myself over here. And but I've not like kind of what how you're feeling right now, Chad. If you didn't show up, you would have stayed sick all day. You would have stayed in that sick mode the rest of your day and being like, well, I'm sick. I can't do this. I'm sick. I can't do this. Just like it would have eaten at me by not running yesterday. And when I got done the run, I never once said, I never should have done that. I should have just stayed on the couch for these last 20 minutes. I should have just laid there and ate potato chips or had my donut or whatever it is. I should have just stayed there. And what triggered me, Chad, is you're more yayed up now than when you started this show. And to me, that's all that matters, is you are in a better position than you were when you started the show. And so are many other people. And guess what? Now it's all on you. What are you going to do with it now? What are you going to take it to the next level? But you're in a better position than you were when you started. And that's how God works through each and every one of us, is that he gives us an opportunity to be a better version of ourselves, 1% better each and every day. And it's up to us to show up. Because you didn't have to do push-ups to get here. You didn't have to run to get here. You didn't have to do something crazy. You didn't have to drink 27 ounces of water. All you had to do, Chad, was show up. And you did. And you helped people today. And you helped yourself today. So you're a perfect example of showing up. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Brock. I appreciate it. And it's not, I'm inspired by a lot of people on this show. And if I don't call you out right now, take no offense, but it is people like Cullen getting up at 1:45 in the morning or whatever time it is there, 2:15. And it is Kevin Jones. I heard his story one time, and literally that kind of focus is absolutely, we say in green, redunculous. I mean, it's ridiculous, redunculous how focused he was and how he made things happen. So I have no excuses. I needed to see the file cabinet. Now I might go see the pillow here in just a few minutes. I don't know, but I'm just telling you, I'm starting to get what you got. It's contagious, Brock. I can't say something and me not be showing or living by example. So anyway, I appreciate all of you. Thank all of you for being here. Thank you for bearing with me. And Brock, thank you for jumping in. I really think that it was meant to be. I think that that message was put on your heart for a reason. And hey, it's all about alignment. It's all about alignment. So guys, you take care. We'll see you later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.